Did you know nearly 1 in 5 adults in Barbados have diabetes? Did you know diabetes is one of the leading causes of vision loss in the world? Regular eye screening can save your eyes. Contact the Barbados Diabetic Eye Screening Program today at 243-3937 to find out how you get your simple digital eye screening done for just $90. Bar members get 10% off. The Barbados Diabetic Eye Screening Program. Saving eyes, saving lives.
It's time for the Maria Holder Diabetes Radio Show, heard every Saturday at 9 a.m. on VOB 92.9 FM, 15 sugar-free minutes, with the compliments of the Barbados Diabetic Eye Screening Program in partnership with the Barbados Community Foundation and the Maria Holder Diabetes Center. Good morning, Mr. Larry Mears, and good morning to everyone who's tuned in to VOB this December morning. Peter Boy's here with you again, and the next 15 minutes you hear will not just be sugar-free, but Christmas sugar-free minutes, because we're in the month of December and we are feeling celebratory. But just because it's Christmas don't mean that you can be saying, well, Lord, it's Christmas, that means I can eat whatever I want, I can eat down the house, and I ain't gonna let being a diabetic keep me back neither. No. That is why we have the Maria Holder Diabetes Center located in Warren St. Michael to help keep you on track. Whether you are pre-diabetic or diabetic, they are your one-stop shop where you can be seen by diabetic specialist physicians like Dr. Diane Brathwaite and Dr. Charles Spears, specialist nurses like Nurse Tracy, nutritionists like Victoria Cox. If you know you want to lose weight or you want to know what you should be eating this Christmas, call and make an appointment to speak with Miss Victoria Cox. They even got psychologists and podiatrists like Tony Pickering to make sure that you keep looking after your feet. Because if you're diabetic, you need to look after your feet. You should know that. When was the last time you had your feet checked out? If you're thinking about it too long, that means you should call and make an appointment with podiatrist Tony Pickering. 243-3937. Write down the number and make that call now. The mission of the Maria Holder Diabetes Center is also to enhance diabetes education and promote self-management skills, empowering individuals to play a more active role in diabetes prevention. And that is why an open house was staged last week at the Diabetic Center. We want to thank all the people who came out and made that event successful and received all that good, healthy information that was dispensed. But you know, there got some people out there that come back here and was saying, yeah, Peter Boy's talking about going to diabetes open day, but it's Saturday and I got things to do. I got my house to clean, and then I gotta go for my sauce. I ain't got no time for that. You see, that is exactly why you should have come to the open house, to get all that good, healthy information that would have been beneficial for you and your family, whether you're a diabetic, pre-diabetic, or want to avoid becoming diabetic. Despite the fact that you was hard ears and didn't attend the event, the good news is you will get an opportunity to hear some of that good information on today's show and other shows you will hear during the course of this month, both from Tony Kelly and Dr. Diane Brathwaite. So we are going to start with Mr. Tony Kelly, UK Diabetes Ambassador, who spoke at the open house. So if you planning to go out today and buy fast food and sauce, or if you're a man and you don't like going to the doctor, Tony has some advice for you.
One thing I'm wanting to leave with you: go get your checks done. You must have your yearly checks. Some of us drive a Benz, a Volvo. Some of us drive a Fiat. Some of us drive a Cortina, a Porsche. You take your car once a year to get the air in the wheels done, in the tires, to get the brakes done, to get the water done, to get the this done, and so on. Your body, given to you by Jah, Jehovah, Allah, whoever you worship, is far more important, I'm suggesting to you, than that piece of junk, whether it be a Porsche or Volvo or BMW that you're driving down the road. Are you with me? So I'm saying to you, especially young people, and especially for men who you have to grab them kicking and screaming to go to. Women on the whole, from a gender perspective, women will go at the first sign of a twitch or a pain to the GP. Men go the complete opposite way. You need to get your men folk in on this, okay? About 90% of people with diabetes have type 2. 90% of people have type 2. You must bear that in mind. 8% have type 1. Only 8% of people have type 1. Then there's about 2% with rarer types of diabetes, which I don't talk about because I remember I said my health disclaimer at the beginning, I am not medically qualified to talk about those 2%. I focus on the 90% who have type 2. Now, this is where I'm going to come back to the cooking thing. You might not be able to see this. This is just showing you the wards back in Birmingham, okay? Inner city or deprived areas or impoverished areas of the city, like Handsworth, Lozells, Smallheath, Sparkhill, Neachers, those areas where there is a prevalence of white, poorer class people, lots of African people, Caribbean people, and Asian people, their rates of diabetes are higher. And the reason is every second shop you pass in those poor areas, impoverished areas, is a fast food, a takeaway, or what we in Britain call junk food. I am going back to saying you need to go back to basics. You need to go home and learn to cook. So, for instance, if you're a working person, instead of coming home every single day to cook and slaving over the hot stove or cooker, what you do on the weekend, the Saturday, Sunday, is you cook enough meals, enough variety, and you put them in the fridge or freezer. So when you come home in the week, you know, instead of making a beeline, I won't mention them, you know what they are. I've seen them here, I've seen them in Jamaica where I was before I got here. I see lines long from here to outer the Dome Plaza and back, waiting to go to a certain chicken place to go get this chicken every Saturday and Sunday. When I was growing up, Saturday was Saturday soup. And even now in our household in Britain, Saturday is Saturday soup, where you're putting pumpkin in, where you're putting chocho in, where you're putting the okra fingers, the ladies' fingers, and so on. You need to go back to basics and get the children. When I was in Jamaica doing this during the early part of November, I went to a school and I said, because when I was growing up in school, boys were shunted to go and do woodwork back in the 60s and 70s. Girls, needlework and home economics and cooking. And I then asked in Jamaica, is that still the case? I don't know whether it is in Barbados, but in Jamaica now, it's no gender specific. Everybody has to do needlework and sewing and home economics and so on. And I hope Barbados goes down that line. And if they don't, you need to tell your minister of whoever, education, let the boys learn to cook just like the girls as well.
Hear that? Boys need to learn to cook. And men too, like me. Because I can't cook, so I gotta learn. So let's move on to Dr. Diane Bradford. You should have seen Dr. Bradford line dancing last week with the GFF line dancers. Cheese, darn bread. She put me in the shade. It would have been worth it you coming to the open house just to see Dr. Diane line dance. How much doctors can line dance and at the same time give good information like this advice she gave at the open house on Saturday.
When we look at our patients here, almost 75% of our patients with diabetes here have high blood pressure. If you look at the general community, it's about 40%. So the percentage is much higher in persons with diabetes. You always have to check. This is just something about type 1 and type 2 diabetes. We went through that. We have a program with the polyclinic. So if you know somebody who is in the polyclinic system and they're having challenges with their blood sugar control or a problem, the doctor in the polyclinic can actually refer them here to a program for about 6 to 8 months. They stay and they get all of the services. They get all of the screenings. They can see any of the specialists, including the heart specialists, get their eyes screened, get their feet taken care of. So it's a really good program that's going on with the government. So just making you more aware of that. Oh, just to highlight as well, this is a program by the Diabetes and Hypertension Association of Barbados, and it's called Chronic Disease Self-Management Program. It's actually done online. It's a free program, and you can sign up to get about 6 sessions worth of education. It's all done online. So the link is there. If you want the link, you can just take a picture of it and you can contact them. All right? So just sharing something else we do. We talked about vessels. This is vessels or arteries in the leg. My first lecture, we discussed peripheral arterial disease. We actually do screening at the diabetes centers of your arteries. So that's part of your checkup. If you have had diabetes for more than 10 years or if you're over the age of 50 with diabetes. And it's a good thing kind of to know earlier because you know that maybe if something is going on, you manage something called your risk. Also checking your feet more frequently, etc. So this is just like a little graph. This is showing like what a tracing of this does. When she checks it, she puts cuffs on the feet and the arms, and she can actually measure the pressures in the toe and the ankle and the top of the foot, etc. So that is a new program that we have here. It's called vascular screening. So our two biggest programs for the year have been the retinal eye screening, which is done very, very well, and the vascular screening is now on board.
Thank you, Dr. Diane Braffett, line dancing doctor. You heard about those two services Dr. Diane talked about, right? If you are a diabetic, when was the last time you got your eyes screened for diabetic retinopathy? You think it's too long? You need to make an appointment by calling 243-3937. Because once you're a diabetic, you need to get your eyes screened for diabetic retinopathy every year. You also heard Dr. Diane talking about vascular screening. If you find that your foot has been hurting you often, and your feet swelling up and things, or you have a burning sensation in your legs and toes, or what we just call bad circulation, you might need to get a vascular screening. Call 243-3937 to get more information and make an appointment. Do what Dr. Diane Braffett says. The line dancing doctor. Speaking of line dancing, it's time for our song of the day, and it is Christmas, so we are moving into Christmas music, and we are going into a song that I would like to see Dr. Braffett line dancing to the music of Crazy, and a song that encourages you that don't be just about all the eating and the drinking and what presents you could get, but also encourages you to put Jesus in your Christmas. This is Crazy with this Yuletide selection. Compliments the Maria Holder Diabetes Center.
Every year we betting, drinking and paranging to celebrate Christmas Day. We idolizing Santa, but no time for the Savior. This is not the way I say. Put Jesus in your Christmas, put Jesus in your Christmas, put Jesus in your Christmas this year. Came down here to save us from wickedness and chaos. Put Jesus in your Christmas this year. Put Jesus in your Christmas, put Jesus in your Christmas, put Jesus in your Christmas this year. Came down here to save us from wickedness and chaos. Put Jesus in your Christmas, put Jesus in your Christmas, put Jesus in your Christmas this year.
Contact the Barbados Diabetic Eye Screening Program today at 243-EYES, 243-3937 to find out how you get your simple digital eye screening done. The Barbados Diabetic Eye Screening Program.
Fornicate and blaspheme come the month of December. You come up with your quattro and parancalypso to shake up your latido. Put Jesus in your Christmas, put Jesus in your Christmas, put Jesus in your Christmas this year. He came down here to save us from wickedness and chaos. Put Jesus in your Christmas this year.
Just about a couple months ago, Diabetes Foundation, they had called me, Dr. Braffett, send the message that they were doing the eye screening program, and I went and I had my eyes done, both me and my fiance, and I can say that I was well satisfied with what they did with the result. Right now, the cataract is under control. I would say yes, that is very good. It's very good for diabetic. I would give it a 5-star.
The Maria Holder Diabetes Center, located in Warren St. Michael, with their diabetic eye screening program, offers a standard of service that equals or surpasses any you might receive internationally. So if you are a diabetic or pre-diabetic and listening to your radio right now, you need to make an appointment and get your eyes screened by calling 243-3937 to make that appointment. In addition, there's now a new vascular service that is the centerpiece of a national campaign that will highlight the discovery of early circulatory problems in the limbs and extremities of at-risk persons. So if you are having vascular or circulation problems, call and make an appointment at 417-0305 or 243-3937. The last 15 minutes you heard on your radio was brought to you with the compliments of the Barbados Diabetic Eye Screening Program in partnership with the Barbados Community Foundation and the Maria Holder Diabetes Center. Until next time, take care of your eyes.
Did you know nearly 1 in 5 adults in Barbados have diabetes? Did you know diabetes is one of the leading causes of vision loss in the world? Regular eye screening can save your eyes. Contact the Barbados Diabetic Eye Screening Program today at 243-3937.